So what are the other? You have your podcast has a cool name,
Transform to Freedom.
Transform to Freedom.
Yeah.
What are the issues like what are the issues that matter most to you? I mean, we've talked about a couple of them.
Yeah, obviously, the trans rights issue, like the trans issues, are probably my biggest content because it's probably the biggest thing out there. One thing that most people are talking about. But I do anti-war content. I do a lot of like libertarian and just like political content. I'd like to do interviews with people on my show. We'll do those sometimes, and just whoever's interesting to come on and talk and hang out, we'll talk about their stuff. But actually, one that I don't think a lot of people realize either is I've done some events in Georgia for legalization of marijuana as well. So drug legalization is one thing that I think could be really positive. Like I did a video and then I did an article in my Substack about psychedelics and how big pharma is in bed with the government, and while we're suppressing we're suppressing natural medications, and yet big pharma is making all this money pushing even more dangerous stuff, like opioids and stuff like that. So it's like, and I think that even like SSRI use is up so much in the country right now. And it seems like, and one of the comments is like, when you use SSRIs, you feel emotionally numb. I think that could be one reason why we're seeing so much violence in the country, is because people are hopped up on SSRIs and are emotionally numb. Whereas like LSD psychotherapy, you can do one of the studies I read is like you can do 3 sessions of LSD psychotherapy with a trained professional. 3 sessions the effects last up to a year right now. And so those are the types of things that I think we should be pushing towards. As well as like if you legalize marijuana, most people don't realize, like, if you're talking climate control, like climate issues, and you're not talking about legalization of marijuana and using hemp plastics instead of oil-based plastics, then you're really not serious about climate change, because oil-based plastic or hemp-based plastics is a carbon neutral solution. The plants themselves create enough oxygen to support the entire production of that plastic. And so that's like one of the big things I think about, like with marijuana, even other than the medicinal effects and everything of it. Really
thinking a lot about, and I knew this, and it's nothing new that big pharma games the system, and one of the games they play is they will gobble up medical innovations that might compete with the one that they already have that's a lesser product, but it's got FDA approval. So it's very centralized, and it's designed to maximally extract revenue. So if there are therapeutics that might work better for mitigating the damage of a virus versus a vaccine, they're going to try to crush.
Yeah. And remember that happened. Like they were all like, marijuana might help mitigate being able to contract COVID. That was one of the big misinformation things that everybody was talking about. It was like, I don't know if it was true or not, but there was one study that showed it might be true. So why not study that? But nobody wants to talk about that. They want to push the big pharma drugs.
They don't support studying anything that's not patentable.
Exactly.